Hello! Today we're going to be working on a small project of a pin cushion. Getting started, we're going to place the fabric with the right sides together. When you're first getting started, pinning the fabric together is a good way to ascertain that the fabric won't slip while you're cutting it. As you progress with your skills, you can probably skip this step. A rough rectangle is what we need for this small project today. Once you have that all pinned, you can begin cutting. Make sure to leave a bit of space beyond the pins to allow room for you to sew. After your rectangle is cut, you are ready to sew. Make sure the two thread tails are pulled out towards the back of your machine. We are actually going to start midway down one of the sides. Leave a gap to stuff your pin cushion. Lower your presser foot to hold your fabric in place. Get in the habit now of removing your pins as you go. If you hit a pin with your needle, the pin and/or the needle can break. I'm going to choose a simple straight stitch for this project. Gently press the pedal down to get started. Sew for about an inch or so, and then backstitch the length of that stitch. This is to lock in the stitch and also to give it more integrity when we're stuffing it. When you get to the corners, you're going to stop and lower your needle with the hand wheel to the lowest position. Then lift the presser foot up and pivot the fabric to go in the direction of the next side. Continue on, sewing and removing pins for the remaining two sides. When you get to the side you started on, remember to leave a gap of a few inches in order to turn and then stuff your cushion. I like to backstitch a few times for extra strength. Make sure your needle is up, and then lift the presser foot and pull the project out and hit the thread cutter on the side. Next up is turning and stuffing. I like to cut off my tails closer to the stitch so they're not hanging out. Now you can see why you backstitched earlier. The extra strength is needed during the stress of turning. Turn your project right side out by stuffing it through the gap that you left. You may need to use an object to poke out the corners sufficiently. I'm using the end of my scissors here, but a better option would be an unsharpened pencil or a chopstick or something of that nature. Once it resembles a rectangle, you are ready to stuff. I'm just using a generic polyfill here that is available at craft stores and bigger box stores as well. I'm always surprised with how much I need, so don't skimp on the filling amount as you go. Once it's all filled, use your tool to make sure it's poked down into the corners. It's time to close the gap and complete your pin cushion. Now the best and only way, in my opinion, to close this gap is to hand stitch it using the stitches that were explained in the earlier videos. I'm going to show you how to quickly sew it shut with your machine, but it is not going to be pretty and is not recommended for a good finish. I am also using black thread for contrast, but you would want to use a matching thread. After you've pinned the hole shut, you're going to slide it under your machine and use the same technique as before. Sew, backstitch, sew, backstitch. Now the pin cushion is done and ready for pins. Thanks for watching. Did you like this mini-series? Let us know in the comments below. And happy sewing!
Thank you.